or the most used answer in the test is I try to ascertain if the guy was having a bad day or not. I can't even say it without laughing. Instead of picking up a brick and beating him to death. But that's the difference. And that's why we have a snowflake society, and that's why QLA is so much easier now. Because nobody's got any balls. And we're going to teach you how to pump your balls up, because you don't have any either. But when you use the scripts, you use the templates, they're going to think you got balls. They're going to think you're a cross between Jocko Wacko and Lesnar, the big Palooka heavyweight guy. That's who they're going to think you are. They're not going to know that you're a mealy-mouthed little twat. Because power works. And until you have the money to be powerful, you're going to fake it till you make it. And like I said, I've been talking shit, not all my life, but since I'm 14, 15, I've been talking shit. I didn't really think, I try to think back all the trouble I got in, and I didn't think I was talking shit, but I obviously was talking shit because I hadn't done anything in my life. And in the school, I used to wear a dunce cap. They'd stand me in the corner, a dunce cap. You know, a cap that goes, they don't have dunce caps anymore because they're not politically correct. A big, like a big beanie hat, and they stand me in the corner for doing something bad. And then if I turn around, they'd put me in a closet like this. I couldn't get in the closet with a dunce cap, so they put me in the closet until my parents came to pick me up. I would shit my pants and piss my pants, and they wouldn't let me out of the closet. Can you imagine what would happen today if that happened to a kid in school? I should school the LA Unified School District for $1 billion because of the trauma I went through. But the trauma made me rich because my dad told me sticks and stones can break your bones, but words can never hurt you. Now it's just the opposite. People commit suicide because they're unliked on Facebook. I can't relate to that. I'd go over to the house and punch the fucking face in the father's, knock all his teeth out. And now again, that's why it's not reversible. We are through as a race, but you're going to die rich. Or you potentially have the ability to die rich. And I've been rich and I've been poor, and there's no comparison. But the world, is just I remember people picking me up from school. I have shit in my pants. Just imagine the trauma. But my father said, it's not what happens to you in life, son. It's how you react to what happens to you in life. Didn't kill you, did it? Machiavelli said, that's what does not kill you makes you stronger, right? Well, he didn't know Machiavelli, my dad. But it didn't kill me. I was embarrassed and I shit my pants because I was in the closet. I got in a lot of fights. Did a lot, and maybe that's why I dropped the aquarium on that fucking teacher of mine. Try to kill him. I got expelled 3 times, the last time from the entire school district. They didn't want me anywhere near that school district. And that's how we moved out to the valley, which then there was just fucking wheat fields and shit. I got in trouble there. Well, you can find trouble if you want it, believe me. I am a living testament to that. But I used all those things to make me stronger. Make sure you get a picture of that so the YouTubers know what they look like, the fucking twat cunts on the bottom there. Today, you've got data, you've got information, some knowledge, insight. When you leave here, you're going to have all those tied together to include wisdom. Wisdom based on the experience of this program for 26 years and me using it 50 years. We've already gone through the 700 books, 700 deals. It's a no-brainer. This is one of the kids that came through the seminar. Those are the books he got rid of, and he replaced them with one book, which is my book. The Queen, who I've had the pleasure of meeting twice, She wants to make America Great Britain again. Remember, we used to be British in America. A very nice lady. She's really a little teeny lady. I met her twice. Now, some people say that there's some resemblance between Stalin, Lenin, and me. I think Stalin and Lenin were weak cunts. Stalin was responsible for killing 40 million. If you're going to compare me to somebody, compare me to Mao Zedong, who killed 200 million. If anything in my seminar offends you, blame your parents for raising a pussy. If love got the job, please turn it off. Got the job done, most parents would have produced high performers. It doesn't. Now, I only wish this is how life was. Whoop. If this were only true. Well, in the animal world, it is true. But in the world you and I live in today, it's not. I dated her. I dated her when I was in high school. I dated her too. I didn't date her. I've dated some as ugly as that. I dated her mother. See, when you have high self-esteem, you can say shit like this. You'd be embarrassed to say you dated a pig. Most of the people you dated were fucking pigs. The number one reason you fail in life is because you listen to friends and family. The seminar's over now. Thank you very much. No refunds. You can have dinner tonight, you can stay, or I don't give a shit. Oh, shit. Now, Schwarzfucker's supposed to be 6'2". He's 5'6". He's supposed to be 6 feet. Now, unless I'm going blind here, and I've been with all these guys, if Schwarzenegger's 6'2", I'm 6'8". The Schwarzfucker. Okay? Stallone is 5'6" in heels. And Bruce is about 5'10". Now, next slide. Get ready for this. There's the Brian, the QLA Rose. And that's the Wolf of Wall Street guy, who must be 3'8", because Brian's only this tall. And all the pictures you see of Brian and I, we look the same height. And whenever a realtor meets me, he says, God, we didn't know you were that tall. Because Brian photoshops the things, so we look the same height. Brian can stand under my fucking armpit. There's nothing wrong with being short. Napoleon was short. Hitler was short. In fact, all those guys were short. But let's go back. They lie about their height. Now, I've never met the wolf. Maybe someday I will. And little did I know that this is truer than I thought when I was given this 25 years ago. Because I am closer to being a caveman for the reasons I've already told you. But I didn't know that when I got this. I didn't know that. When you leave here in a week, you will be the fifth horseman of the apocalypse. Legally, you'll take what you want. You'll do what you want. You'll fulfill your dreams. And if people don't like it, fuck them. Including your significant others, your children, your parents. Fuck them. If they're not with us, they're against us. Fuck them. Go back, we fucked up everything. That's me. when I was thinner. Now, I thought it was this easy to train you guys. I was wrong. Never underestimate how wrong you can be. I thought when I started coaching 26 years ago that I was just going to lay out all the templates, and we had templates even then, and you could be able to perform, but I was wrong. I didn't know what emotional baggage was. I didn't know what an emotional bank account was in those days. I just thought that you either wanted to be a high-performance person or you didn't. That was it. I now understand the difference. And it's the emotional bank account I work on in the seminar the most. We go over one transaction the last day. One transaction, which is more or less a vanilla transaction, which is the average of all the deals you've done in the last, not you, the kids have done in 20 years. It happens to be a real deal, healthcare deal. We do one transaction, we show how it's done. And that's all you need. We really could do the seminar without a transaction, but everybody feels cheated if I don't show them one deal. The hardcore, and I'm not trying to sell the hardcore deals is we do an MBA in 9 days. We do 35 cases in 9 days. 35 cases is a 2-year MBA at Harvard, Columbia, wherever. We do it in 9 days. So what do they do the rest of the time? They've got to make an MBA 2 years so they can charge more. Everything's fee-oriented now. Okay. We all know you're not as smart as that dog. Okay. We've been around 13.8 billion years, the Earth, as some form of human, not human, as some form of life. We've been around 2 million years, or 100,000 generations, 200,000 years we've been around. I would do much better if I was 200,000 years ago. I would have been the Mao Zedong, I would have been the Hannibal, I would have been whoever that ruled the earth. I drove by, this is in the Netherlands, I drove by the university today and yelled boo. 35 people went to the hospital. 734 needed crisis counseling. 429 needed a safe area or room, and classes were canceled for a week. We've only had one university, and I've spoken to some of the best, that has ever asked me back twice. There's a message there. There's a message. Only one has asked me back twice. American symbols of manhood. This is you today on the right. If it weren't true, it wouldn't be funny. It is true, sadly. That's my dad's generation. Fuck. We don't need that, okay. First step towards success is taken when you refuse to be a captive of the environment in which you first find yourself, and that's why you're here today. And that's why you're here for the rest of the week, and that's why the kids follow us on YouTube, and that's why we had several thousand people on my Ask Dan yesterday, which apparently we're going to have again, because there's a need. And the reason why the demographics of this seminar have changed down to 15 to 35 is because the kids need help. And they don't need more intelligence, they need more leadership. And right now there's a gross lack of leadership. Our children, our 3 children, got out of, just at the cusp when they stopped giving first, second, and third place for sporting events, they started giving participation ribbons or some shit. We pulled our kids out of athletics. And that was just, I thought that was horrible when that happened. That was just the beginning of how horrid it is now. Someday, the National Football League, hopefully while I'm not alive, will give participation trophies, not win and lose. That's where we're headed. Someday. On the face of it, if you don't think that that's fucked, there's something not right with you. But all that makes it easier for us to do QLA, because they're all pussies. And we're going to teach you how to grow a parrot this week. But there's going to be no competition. They won't be able to stand the heat, and that's why I call them snowflakes, because they melt under pressure. The bankers melt under pressure. The accountants melt under pressure. The lawyers melt under pressure. The sellers melt under pressure. And that's why this fucking system works so readily. Not easily. I didn't say easily. Readily. Because there's no real competition for you. I've already showed you an example. A guy put $13 million in the bank. I never met. Some dipshit from South Africa. I take my hat off to him. I don't mean he's a dipshit because he's a dipshit, but I mean God bless him. Allah be with him. But there's no competition, guys and gals. There just isn't. And that's why, and even though the YouTubers can do this without me, I would be disingenuous, as I said, I believe last night. I have no billionaires that I'm aware of that I didn't physically, have something to do with. So if you truly came here to be a billionaire and change the world, you came to the right motherfucking place. Because I don't know anybody else that has even purported to have walked by a billionaire in a seminar, let alone created him. Nobody. This is it. This room. And you have a tremendous opportunity. For those of you that believe and you want to say, I hope the world ends the day after I die. I want the moon and the sun and everything just to crash all the fucking together at my funeral. At my fucking funeral. You know that the world's going to end in between 3 and 7 billion years. They're not sure. Well, I want it to be at my fucking funeral. Forget that 3 to 7 billion years, unless I'm going to live 3 billion years. Then I'm okay with that. I can live 3 billion years, and then it can end. And most of the high-performance people I know think just like I do, but they don't articulate it that way because they want their legacy to be that they're humanitarians. I'm a lot of things, kids, but I'm not a humanitarian. I've never been accused of being a humanitarian, ever. And until the government said I was a gentleman, no woman ever said I was a gentleman. You're hard-pressed to find a gal that I dated when I was young that would say that I was a gentleman. They might say I was a great fuck, but they didn't say I was a gentleman. So it depends what you want. What end of the continuum do you want? If you came to the rich end, I could teach. I've been offered $100,000 a seminar to go teach people how to get laid. The guys that are doing the Get Your Willy Wet seminars are amateurs. 3 or 4 of them are my kids. They're amateurs. If you go to these fucking punks and pay them up to $3,000 a month how to get your willy wet, you'd be paying me $50,000 a month how to get your willy wet on the hour. When my generation get together and we talk about, once in a while, having too much to drink, about how the seminars that teach guys how to date and blah, 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 we can't believe it. But they all say the one thing, you ought to teach it, Dan. Because I was the king. I've always excelled at certain things, and that's one of them. I was the king. Any questions? Who's my 5:30 today? 6:30. Okay. We got a real ethnic blend. We got, you look white. I don't know if you are white. You look white, and you don't look white. And we know you're not white. Okay, so we got a real ethnic blend. Okay, YouTube. See you tomorrow.